Well, hello everyone. My name is Dara Rath and I'm the pastor at Faith Lutheran Church in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. And each week I bring you a story that takes about 5 minutes to watch and is written by different authors. And this week the story is called Peak Experience by Brian Kavanaugh. Once there was a seeker who had a dream of one day climbing to the highest mountain peak. He believed that once he did that, he would be a success in his life. To prepare for his long journey, he packed several boxes, a large backpack, and an overstuffed briefcase. Then he began his ascent to the mountain peak. He was amazed at the beauty of the mountain and took joy in seeing various types of trees and flowers and animals and mountain streams. But as he climbed higher, he found he was becoming too tired carrying all his belongings. Therefore, as he continued on his journey, he began to discard one box after another on the trail. Whenever he left a box behind, his burden became lighter, and he felt taller and more energized. Finally, the man reached the peak of the mountain. He was amazed at his accomplishment, but he realized now that he had done this, it was time to go back down the trail and pick up the belongings he had left behind on the journey and travel to a new valley, the Valley of the Future. As he made his way back down the trail, he came across a large box, backpack, and an overstuffed suitcase. Picking up the first box, he noticed that it contained many memories, such as awards and report cards, and even a piece of old flannel blanket. He decided that he no longer needed these items to have memories, so he left the box on the side of the trail, and suddenly he felt taller. As he continued his way down the mountain, he came across the backpack he had earlier placed on the side of the road. In it, he found things of beauty that he had collected along his journey, such as a piece of driftwood, a wooden sculpture, photographs of rainbows, and some favorite books. These too he left behind and continued his journey down the mountain. And then came to the briefcase that he had left on the side of the road on his journey up the mountain. The briefcase was stuffed with the various causes and issues and concerns that had inflamed his spirit and driven him to past actions. All of these seemed much less significant now than once they were. So he left the briefcase by the side of the road and continued his journey down the mountainside. Finally, he came to the last backpack on the side of the road. It contained a saw, a hammer, some other tools, and a bamboo flute. He slung it over his shoulder and continued his downward journey. Unfortunately, though, the backpack weighed him down too much, and it cramped his freedom. Therefore, he took out his flute and left the backpack behind. Now free of his belongings, he went his merry way playing a happy song on his flute, and he entered the Valley of the Future. That's a beautiful story. And Robert Crew says, what we are like at one point in our life is not what we will be at another point in our life. Like the man who is ascending the mountain, many of us follow the similar pattern. We become collectors of things, such as big houses, furniture, jewelry, cars, and vacation, and who knows what. We climb to the pinnacle of our profession and gaze at the world from the top. But then we realize that is all there is. It is no time to go back down the hill. Soon we begin to declutter. We get rid of our big house and we downsize. We get rid of things we have stored in the attic, the basement, and the garage, and we strive to capture the simplicity we once treasured. Now, finally, we come to the golden years of our lives where sitting in a comfortable chair with a cup of coffee and newspaper becomes one of the most delicious moments of our day. We no longer need cruises and nightclubs and parties and noise to make us happy. We simply need a sense of serenity, peacefulness to make us fulfilled. So here we go, thinking about our possessions that we have. This is a wonderful story because we are currently in the throes of downsizing our house and trying to get rid of all the clutter that we've collected in 57 years. I am a quilter, and so we have cupboards of fabric that I'm trying currently to use to make up quilts for our local hospice. But it's amazing what you can collect in a few years. And so this is accurate. Downsizing, and thinking about all those possessions. Are they all that important in our lives? So something to think about. Blessings on your day, and thanks for taking 5.